July was the month that changed you internally, August is the month your external reality starts responding to who you've become. When I tapped into the collective consciousness for August, 6 really clear themes came through. And together they all pointed to the same thing. You are done preparing, and it's time to start living it. If you are new here, welcome. I'm Jen, and for the last decade, I've been helping visionary leaders shift the subconscious patterns shaping their reality so they can create more wealth, more freedom, and fully step into the work they're here to do. So every month I tap into the collective consciousness of the new era of leaders to see what messages are coming through. The people who know they're here for something bigger, the ones who feel that pull to build something meaningful and lead differently and leave the world better than they found it. Before we jump in to the August energy, I also want to let you know that my Identity Shift Collective is officially open. It is my monthly membership where we go way deeper into these monthly forecasts. You get them ahead of time before everyone else. We work on identity repatterning, nervous system regulation, energetic clearings, and embodiment practices and subconscious rewiring. We also have monthly coaching calls and private Voxer community where you get direct access to me throughout the month for coaching support and feedback, and it is $67 a month. So if that speaks to you, I'll drop the link in the description box below. And if you haven't downloaded my freebie yet, go get my identity expansion recode to help shift and rewire your subconscious. All right, let's get into the energy for August. The first theme that came up through this was your external reality starts catching up. This is the biggest shift I felt between July and August is this. Okay, so July changed you internally. August starts shifting your external reality. So July was really loud internally. Your intuition kept getting louder. It kept showing you things you couldn't ignore anymore, the conversations you needed to have, the habits that weren't supporting you, the places where you were still playing small, or the parts of your life that simply just weren't aligned anymore. So even if nobody else could see it, there was so much happening beneath the surface. Now, August feels completely different. It feels like the external world is finally catching up to all of the work we've been doing over the last few months. So one thing I've noticed over the years is that people think that, life changes first and then the change. In my experience, it's usually the opposite. You start trusting yourself more, you then make different decisions, you stop settling, you carry yourself differently without even realizing it. And then eventually your external world starts responding to that version of you. So if you have been feeling stuck, I honestly think you're about to feel things start moving again. So doors begin opening, opportunities start appearing, people respond to you differently because you're showing up differently. So your external reality starts reflecting the identity you've already been building. Now, the second theme built on this perfectly. So the eclipses accelerate everything. So we have a really powerful eclipse season this month. We're already feeling that energy because eclipse energy doesn't just arrive on the day of. It's about a month before and a month after, and then it continues to shift over the next 6 months to a year. It's already building at the end of July, and it continues to build through August, and it peaks around the middle and to the end of August, and then we're spending time integrating everything that's shifted. So it comes in like a big energy wave, and you can feel it before it reaches its peak. So eclipses really do amplify what's already unfolding, and that's exactly what came through when I tapped into the collective. So this doesn't feel like life suddenly sending you in a completely different trajectory or direction. It feels like the direction you've already been moving in starts to then pick up momentum. So we begin the month with a Leo solar eclipse with leadership and more visibility and courage and expression and taking up space. And then we close the month with the Pisces lunar eclipse. Intuition, surrender, endings, and integration. And when those themes came through, they matched almost exactly what I was already picking on energetically. As soon as those messages came through, I had to go run and check the astrology so I was like, holy crap, August is going to be insane. So ask yourself, What has your intuition been nudging you toward over the last month? Because that's probably the area that's about to speed up. Now, if you've been building something, expect momentum. And if you've been avoiding something, expect it to get louder. Either way, things are moving. Now, the third theme was all about the body. Your nervous system is catching up. So with this, all of this movement, we have to talk about the body. This month feels like a nervous system recalibration and DNA activations. So to me, that simply means more of you becomes available. We're unlocking deeper levels of our intuition, our creativity, our confidence, our leadership. So parts of you that have always been there, they've been dormant, are beginning to come online in a much bigger way. And at the same time, your nervous system is expanding its capacity to hold more visibility and abundance, and responsibilities and opportunities. And that really does take a lot of energy. So if you're feeling more tired than usual in August, if you need more quiet, if one day you're extremely emotional and then at the end of the next day you're excited, don't automatically think there's something wrong. Your body may simply be adjusting to everything that's changing. So August doesn't feel like a push harder month, okay? It feels like a month to create more capacity, to stay regulated, to stay grounded and open to receiving, which is actually why I'm super excited that inside the Identity Shift Collective, we're kicking off a 30-day nervous system challenge at the beginning of August, because honestly, I couldn't think of a better month to do it. Now, the fourth theme is one I think a lot of you are going to recognize. It is your old identity is losing its grip. So just because your external reality starts changing, that doesn't mean old patterns disappear completely overnight, okay? The fear might still show up, the overthinking, the self-doubt, the anxiety, especially with all this energy moving. So don't be surprised if that old voice gets really loud right before you make a decision. There's typically like a bloom of energy before a shift. That happens all the time. And the difference now is those old fears and those old patterns don't get to make the decisions anymore because you've already outgrown that version of yourself. So remember during August to keep choosing the version of you that is creating the life you actually want. We're connecting with our future self and we're closing the gap between the old and the new. Now, the fifth theme was honestly my favorite, and it was the new era of leadership looks different. So I have spent years watching people swing between two extremes. One side says work harder, push harder, grind your way there. The other side says just meditate and raise your vibration and wait for the universe to do the rest. And neither one of those works on its own. We're here to co-create. Your intuition shows you the direction, right? Your feminine energy, and your actions are what bring it into the physical reality, your masculine energy. Okay, so we're balancing the divine feminine and the divine masculine rather being buried in either one of them. So I want to share a story. I knew someone who wanted to start a spiritual business. Her children, her kids were at school all day, so she had time throughout the day. And what she did with that time was focus on raising her vibration. She meditated for a couple of hours a day. She did, like an hour of yoga. She went and walked her dog in the forest for an hour or two. She would make lunch, maybe journal. And then before she knew it, the kids were home. And she genuinely believed that if she kept raising her vibration, that money would just simply show up. Didn't. It didn't. She actually got herself into more debt. It doesn't work like that. All right. You can receive incredible guidance, but eventually you do have to move on that guidance, right? If you want to start a business, people need to know you exist. They need to know how you can help them. So spirit can absolutely open the door, but you still have to walk through it. And that's what this new era of leadership feels like. It's deep intuition with grounded action, a balance of the two. Now, the sixth and final theme is the one I think so many of you have been waiting for. It is manifestation moves into the physical. So this is honestly the part I'm most excited about. I really feel like the first half of this year has asked so much of us. We've done the healing, we released, we questioned ourselves, we've had some uncomfortable conversations, maybe, right? We've kept showing up even when it felt like nothing was moving. And now it finally feels like we're beginning to see some of that reflected back in our lives. So this is where things start to become really tangible. More money, more clients, more opportunities and support and resources. Maybe you're getting a new job. And like maybe you're finally starting the business you've been talking about for months or maybe even years. Sometimes manifestation isn't this big, huge, dramatic moment. Sometimes it looks like someone recommending your name or a conversation that opens a door that wasn't there before. One decision changes the direction of the next 6 months. So things that have felt stuck begin moving. Abundance starts becoming tangible, and you're beginning to live what you've been working so hard to build toward. If I had to sum up August in one sentence, it would be your external reality is beginning to reflect the work you've already been doing internally. So trust yourself, keep moving forward, finish what you started. If you have any unfinished business, like tie up all those loose ends. Let yourself be seen, stay open to receiving, and if your body is asking for a rest this month, listen to it. I really believe August carries a huge amount of momentum and things begin moving and opportunities are showing up. So the work you've been doing behind the scenes really does become visible. So I'd love to know which of these 6 themes are you feeling the most right now. Drop it in the comments. I read every single one of them. And if you'd like support moving through everything in August, I'd love to welcome you inside the Identity Shift Collective.